Welcome back, everyone. This is part 2 on the Snider rifle from IMA that I purchased. I wanted to give you a look at it, since if any of you are, particularly if you're contemplating buying one. Now, just to reiterate what I did in the unboxing video, I bought a Snider rifle from the Nepal bringbacks that IMA and Atlanta Cutlery did. Atlanta Cutlery is all out of these, and so I would wonder if their stocks are maybe starting to get a little bit low. But when I opened the box, the first thing I noticed was I thought it had been over cleaned, and I still hold to that, but I can't say for certain that this is not the way these rifles were at the Nepal factory, and what they cleaned off is what I get. This gun is in the white. Even under the dirt that I'm cleaning off that was left from the cleaning, it's still in the white, so I'm pretty sure it was in the white all along. There's a little bit of color in spots on the barrel bands and on the lock, but all in all, it's not much finish on it except for some patina. Now you got to keep in mind this gun is probably 150, 160 years old, so we're not too concerned with some of this. But the main thing is I did buy a cleaned rifle because I want it to be complete, which it is. And the second thing I bought was the $75 handpick fee, which is tremendously higher than any other gun manufacturer out there. There are gun sales that I know of. Most of them are $25. I've even seen $50, but $75. And I did have some problems. I'll start from the front of the gun and work my way towards the rear. In the unboxing video, I pointed out that the front swing swivel was bent, and indeed it was. Not only bent, but cracked. And I ended up ordering a new one because I want to be able to use that sling. I use slings when I shoot for accuracy reasons, and I'm planning on shooting this gun eventually. But I had to order a new front band from IMA with the swivel on it already. It's the only way I could find one, and it came actually riveted into place, so I had to drill that rivet out and then reattach the sling with the screw that's on this gun. It wasn't too difficult, and it fit just fine other than that, and I had to spend $20 on that after already buying a quite expensive rifle with a fee on top of that. Now I do have to point out I did have a good coupon to use from them from previous purchases I'd made. I believe it was a 15% off coupon, so that helped a little bit. At least it covered the handpick fee. Everything else looks pretty good on it from here back until we get to the action on the gun. I had a couple of problems on the action, so total 4 things. I think it was over cleaned. Almost looks like steel wool had been taken to the gun. I can't verify that because I haven't seen any other of these Nepal Sniders or that were stored in all that brick dust was coating them, so they claim, and it is a black caked on, very difficult to remove dust. So the second problem I had, I'll tip it a little bit here so we can see. I'll zoom in a touch, and this is screw right here is the breech block pin screw. It's just a screw that has threads on the top, turns into a pin on the bottom that supports this breech block. Let me turn this a little bit here, and you can see how that swivels open, and all this pin does here is hold this pin in place. Not a stressful part, but this screw is totally stripped. I can just pull it right out with my hand. So I'm searching for a new one of those, not having any luck. I've ordered a couple and not had them fit. From the original English ones do not fit. They're quite a bit smaller. So I'm going to have to manufacture one. Shouldn't be too difficult. I should be able to find an appropriate screw and just machine the threads off of the bottom portion where it turns into a pin and holds this pin in place. The third issue I had with it, and keep in mind this is on a $75 hand pick, was the nipple or firing pin retaining nut, sometimes called, was cross-threaded and was not threaded all the way in. I luckily was able. I also ordered a new nipple for it, but again it didn't fit. These guns seem to be pretty well hand built. And this, I should point out, by the way, though, one thing I did get is all the numbers do match on it. The butt plate number, everything seems to match up in the Nepali numbers. You know, I'm just matching the symbols, and I figured out what they represent from using translators, but they all do seem to match. But I was able to correct the threads on that nipple and rescrew them back down in so that it seats all the way, and it all seems to be working fine. It's got a spring-loaded firing pin, and that all seems to be functioning very well. So all in all, I was a little disappointed in that $75 hand pick, but I don't know what other people are finding on their hand picks, and I don't know what buying an uncleaned rifle would result in as far as what you end up when you clean it, if you'd ended up with a better gun or not. I would suspect that you're going to be missing some parts, and some of these parts are rather difficult to find. It's proving to be. These are kind of hand built one at a time. The wood is in very good shape, just a couple little dings. There's no cracks, no dry rot, no wormholes to speak of. So all in all, I was pretty pleased with that. And you can see I've got an aftermarket sling put on it. And I've also already got brass for it. Here's a view of the brass. What this is 24 gauge shotgun brass. See if that'll focus up. And I've got the dies for it, not Lee, but they're custom dies you can buy for these. I was thinking of my recent Arasaka that I got Lee dies for. But they're fairly easy to form. It's a very thin piece of brass. So I've also got a bullet mold I had custom made from Accurate Molds, and it looks very good. And so we're going to be able to shoot mini balls out of this. I've also got a round ball mold, 60 caliber round ball mold, and I can just use plastic shotgun holes to reload that. These are very economical, so it's a very economical gun to shoot if you don't mind doing a little playing with it. Simple small rifle primers fit in the shotgun brass, and with a little cost there you can have the original style brass cartridges. But on the cheap you can get these about, what was it, $15 for 100 of them, and that includes I also bought for $5, got 500 cardboard inserts for these, and I'll be able to use make a grease wad for that, for the black powder that I'll be using in them. Bayonet still looks about the same. I didn't do much cleaning on it. I was fairly happy with the bayonet. I had to take it apart here and clean all this mechanism up. It's quite a bit looser now, but it still fits just fine and locks up just fine on the gun. But it had quite a bit of that ugly dust. Of course, the number that is on the bayonet does not match what's on the gun. But so there it is. It's your call if you would think that would be worth it to order one of these. if I had to do it over, I might take a chance on ordering a non-handpick and saving the $75 and fixing what needed to be fixed on it, since I had to end up fixing so much on this rifle anyway. But overall, the stock is quite spectacular, actually. The brass parts were all fantastic. The brass butt plate particular was nice. I did take this gun completely apart, every nut and bolt, just to make certain. And one last look up and down it. And before I go, I'll lift it up here and bring it in so we can see the side of the lock on it. Incidentally, the internals on the lock are quite impressively built, very nicely done, very accurately done. The trigger pull on this is absolutely fantastic. Have no problems with that at all. In fact, I'm quite pleased with that part of it. So there it is. There's what you get from IMA for that very high handpick fee. Your call if you would want to order one and receive it in this condition. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that.